Ladies and gentlemen, George Carlin.
When I was a kid, growing up in New York City, grew up all the way, I noticed one thing. My friends and I noticed that all New York City policemen have the same voice. It's true. They talk like this. Come on, get out the corner, Johnny. Get out the corner. Called everybody Johnny, even your sister. Get out the corner, Johnny. And they had this trick question they would use. If they saw you hanging around the corner at night, they'd say, "You live around here?" If you said yes, they said, "Go on home." If you said no, they said, "Get out of the neighborhood." They had you either way. Well, it's no accident they talk that way. They picked the voice up from the instructors at the police academy. I'm going to turn around, and then I will be the instructor at the police academy. Okay, you guys, quiet down. Come on, quiet down. You want to stop blowing the whistles, please? And take the handcuffs off Ferguson, will you? I asked you to leave Ferguson alone. His father was a cop, and he's going to be a cop, too. Right, Fergie? Yes. So leave him alone. Hey, you've all been out walking the streets of New York for a week as probationary patrolmen. We started out with 600 Vookies. We lost a few along the way. But you 14 men represent the cream of the crop. The creme de la creme. You've all passed the physical. Some of you have passed the mental. I think it's time now to review your progress by taking a look at your police record. I noticed the man with the most arrests last week was Patrolman Harris with 494 arrests, including his mother and father. Now, how did you manage that, Harris? You just arrested everyone you saw. That ain't it, Harris. That's wrong. No, I'm not under arrest. Get the gun away from Harris, will you? All right, speaking of guns, I got the scores from the pistol range. I'm not going to give you the individual scores, but I'll put it this way. If you were not wounded, and you did not wound anyone else, you qualified. The rest of you will have to go back to the firing range as soon as the range officer is released from the hospital. Next, I want to talk about giving out traffic tickets. As you know, there is no such thing as a quota. Each man gives out 50 tickets a day, and that's it. Still, certain men tend to stand out. And, Harris, I see you're the champ on this, too. In case you guys didn't hear, Harris came up with a great gimmick for giving out traffic tickets. He found a real confusing intersection down the street from a funeral home, and he was knocking off whole funerals at a time. Now, at this point, you might think you're ready to become New York policemen. Wrong. You still need a week of Spanish. Community relations are very important. As we like to say on the force, hablo españolo de policiano, which means vote no on the Civilian Review Board. Now here's today's sentence in Spanish. No tengo hierba las telefónicas. Now, who knows what that means? I know you know what it means, Gonzalez. Right, it means I am busting you, senor. You're entitled to one phone call. And by the way, you guys, calling information is not considered a phone call. So don't be too strict on that. Right now, I want to say a few words about the recent police strike. Actually, it wasn't a strike. We called it a job action. That's because anyone who wasn't on a job was out looking for a little action. Some of you guys have been saying, how come since we enforced the law, how come we can go out on an illegal strike?
The answer is, if we feel that it's an unjust law, we have a moral duty to break it in order to dramatize the problem. My kid taught me that. He's in jail. Disturbing the peace at a war rally. Okay, coming up soon is the St. Patrick's Day parade, because coming up soon is St. Patrick's Day. This year they fall on the same day. For those of you marching, we'll be using the standard left, right, left procedure. One leg after the other. If you're not marching, remember that some of the people celebrating St. Patrick's Day will have had a nip or two. The rest of them will be bombed out of their minds. Don't arrest them, just try to keep them moving if you can. Get them in the parade. Let them march it off. Finally, I want to tell you guys a story from the days when I was a rookie. It might help you rookies while you're out there on the rook. When I was a rookie, my partner and I, Patrolman Ryan, were called to the Museum of Art, where the evidence showed that a statute had been violated. Never mind, Ferguson. Anyways, my partner and I surveilled the area, surveilled it carefully until we apprehended the accusee coming out of an apartment house. We booked him on a 502. Now, who can tell me what's a 502? No, it's not the number of the apartment house, Harris. Get the gun away from Harris, would you please?